Thank you for joining us to dedicate the Kathleen S. Flannery fence and our long-awaited outdoor classroom. In 2003, Mayor Menino joined Ms. Flannery to open the Everett schoolyard, what was once only a large, barren, dirt-filled lot. Today, 6 years later, we gather here once again, driven by Ms. Flannery's dream of not just a fence, but a means of enclosing a world of learning. What started as simply a goal to build a fence became an expression of Ms. Flannery's love of the arts, birdhouses, poetry, and most of all, in children, a true vision of hope for our future. I want to first welcome Mayor Menino.
We all knew Ms. Flannery, a lot of us folks who have a little gray hair, and what a great teacher she was, a caring individual who really made a difference in the classrooms and made a difference in the children's lives. And she always was concerned, no matter when I came here, about her fence. And now we have a fence. What will she complain about next? I mean, we got it done, and it's because of a lot of folks who are here today. And, so I just want to say to everyone that's involved, the superintendent of schools, Carol Johnson, who's doing a great job for us today, to the Parents Council here that is second to none, is really involved in what goes on in this building. The teachers who do a great job every day working with the children, and all your children, just work hard.
And there aren't many people who had a more beautiful smile than Kathleen Flannery. She was not just a teacher, not just a principal, she was a visionary. She was a lover of education, a believer in all things are possible. And today we look back and we remember her once again, as we do all the time. And we say thank you. Thank you for those seeds that you planted in each and every person who was involved in this school. The extraordinary parents, they're just amazing. The level of engagement, the level of interest and concern, not just for their own children, but for all the children at the Eddie Everett, for the fabulous teachers. You give so much of yourself. For Mrs. Mack and her team, it's amazing. It's amazing what you have accomplished because you have kept Kathleen Flannery's dream alive.
As you all know better than I, Kathy was so committed to academic excellence, but she also appreciated the physical component and the need to somehow put a good spin on the endless energy of young children. So it was so important to her to create a space out here that also was not only had function, but it was also attractive, because if you knew anything about Kathy, appearance was also important. She wanted a message conveyed. Important things are going on at that Everett School, and I want you all to know about it.
Her life lives on in the garden here, in the schoolyard, in the science classrooms, and how great of the architects and the designers to make sure that the trees that belong to the environment here were retained and kept and embedded into this beautiful science space for the children. I'm honored to be here and to join this celebration, and even though I did not know her and love her as all of you did, I do feel her spirit and her heart in this place.
We plan to begin the process the summer after Ms. Flannery's retirement. All that changed one day when, in the midst of fighting her ultimately unsuccessful battle against cancer, Ms. Flannery left a message on my phone machine. In what would turn out to be my last communication from her, she implored me to do whatever was needed to raise enough money to replace the entire fence at one time. Needless to say, this was a commission I could not ignore. In a generous outpouring of support in the last couple of years, literally hundreds of people have answered that call, some with money, others with time.
By Everett Dedication. Hope is a leading with others, that courage is in the soul, and it sings the tune without the words, and never stops at all. And the sweetest in the gale is heard, and the storm must be the storm that could have dashed a little bird that kept so many warm. I've heard it in the shivers of sand and on the
building outdoor classrooms in our full renovation projects, but I think as was mentioned earlier, yours came a little bit later. We've been doing that at a number of schools, coming back and building these outdoor classrooms. Over the last few years, we've also been working with BPS, Boston Public Schools, to design, to work with the teachers to really use the space well. And folks like Pam Pelletier and Bev Nadeau have been incredibly helpful to us in that endeavor.
We continue to invite all of you here today to join with us in this work, whether it is to sit quietly underneath the chestnut tree, to help maintain trails and plantings, to develop an educational project, or to assist with fundraising. For another great gift of this schoolyard is that of community. On the Friday of the first full week of school this year, a week that is often stressful for young children who've left home for the first time, and equally stressful for their teachers at times, Mr. Orbis and I were outside with our class at the end of the day watering the garden. We stood in the late afternoon sunshine, watching the bees and the water drip off the leaves, and we looked at each other and we smiled. We knew everything was going to be all right. We knew we had begun a great journey together, a journey in learning and a journey in what is perhaps the greatest gift of all of this schoolyard, a journey undertaken in joy.
I just want to thank everyone for taking the time to appreciate our lovely schoolyard and all the work that has been done by staff, students, and friends of the Everett.